Bookish friends, welcome to my February wrap-up part 1. In this video, I will talk about the 4 books that I finished in the first half of February. Like I did in my previous wrap-ups, I will insert the clips that I've recorded very soon after I finish those works. Today is the 4th of February and I finished one book yesterday late at night and one book today. The book that I finished yesterday evening was the book that I was reading for both Retro Romance Readathon and also Mardi Gras Readathon. The Proud Princess by Barbara Cartland. This book takes place in a fictional country called Dobroska. We follow Princess Ilona and she's living in the kingdom of her father, who's a tyrannical monarch, and his unjust ruling has divided the country into 2 factions, her own Radak people and the Saros. Russia threatens to invade Dobroska using the opportunity of this duality. Politicians in the country makes a decision to marry Princess Ilona to Prince of Saros. The princess is quite excited by this event, but the prince is quite indifferent to her because he believes that she hates him for this union. Although I have heard of Barbara Cartland so many times as the Queen of Romance, this was the first book that I've read from her. And I understood why she was so popular because her books are quite engaging and also the heroines and most probably heroes of her books are quite likable and even lovable. And moreover, especially for this book, up until the end, the princess could have been the heroine of a historical romance book that is written in the modern times. She was quite feisty and also very brave. And aside from the love story, the political and the social side story was quite fulfilling. And I gave The Proud Princess by Barbara Cartland a 7 out of 10. And the book that I finished today was Foundation by Isaac Asimov. In this book, taking place in a fictional universe, for 12,000 years the Galactic Empire has ruled supreme, but now it is dying. But only Harris, creator of the revolutionary science of psychohistory, can see into the future. To a dark age of ignorance, barbarism and warfare that will last 30,000 years. To preserve knowledge and save humankind, Selden gathers the best minds in the empire, both scientists and scholars, and brings them to a bleak planet at the edge of the galaxy to serve as a beacon of hope for future generations. He calls his sanctuary the Foundation. I have previously read The End of Eternity by this author, and I enjoyed that book very much. However, this book was quite a disappointment for me. Although I still enjoyed the writing style and how the ideas are presented, this book, having 5 parts, followed a different main character in each part because those parts took place in very different time periods. And of course, there were also lots of very different side characters as well. So this book, consisting of a little more than 250 pages, had a lot of things packed in it. I was overwhelmed by the density of the plot and the abundance of characters. But I will try more books from this author. I think I would enjoy his other books that follows a single main character like End of Eternity much more. So overall, I gave The Foundation by Isaac Asimov a 6 out of 10. Today is the 7th of February and I finished the book that I chose in my Try a Chapter video last month for the prompt of a book with food, Ice Cream Murder by Leighann Dobbs. In this book, the millionaire Regis Banks drops dead in his own 100th birthday party. Lexi and one of her friends were catering this party. Although initially it seems like Regis has died from natural causes, it was then found out that his death was caused from food poisoning. And of course, Lexi and her friends become Suspects in this case, her grandmother Nance and her 3 elderly friends, decide to investigate this murder in order to clear Lexi's name. I have really enjoyed reading most of the books in this series, but I said in the review of the previous book, it is very unlikely that a book from this series would get even 8 out of 10. But it turns out that I was wrong. I really enjoyed the structuring of the mystery, which reminded me so much of Agatha Christie mysteries. There were so many suspects and so many red herrings. To be honest, up until the previous chapter, I did not guess the killer, unlike the previous books in which it was very obvious who was the killer. And I'm thinking it could be because Lexi is now married. The focus was much more on the mystery in this book. Additionally, my favorite secondary characters, Nance and her friends, they call themselves Ladies Detective Club, was featured very heavily in this mystery. Overall, this book was a quite delight to listen to, and I gave Ice Cream Murder by Leighann Dobbs an 8 out of 10. Today is the 11th of February, and I finished the book that I was buddy reading with Amy Asimov, the first book in the Gilded Age Heiress series by Harper St. George. And this first book was titled The Heiress Gets a Duke. In this book, American heiress August Crenshaw, daughter of a wealthy businessman in the railroad industry, is really looking forward to working alongside with her father and brother in the family business. However, when she visits a friend in London with her younger sister, Violet, they meet Evan Sterling, the Duke of Rothschild, whose father has lost the family fortune and is in need of securing a marriage with a wealthy woman. Intended bride first becomes Violet. However, when Evan clashes with August and feels a very big attraction to her, he decides that August is the wife that he wants, and he will do everything to get her consent in marrying him. Unfortunately, Amy and I have not been successful in finding a historical romance series that we like. Although it's early to say anything, I think this series will be a series that we both enjoy very much. This first book had most of the things that I liked in a historical romance series. A quite accurate description of the period, a very likable, strong-willed heroine, a very kind, equally strong, but also able to see the value of the woman that he loves. A very enjoyable and also quite sexy interactions with each other. And most importantly, very three-dimensional side characters alongside the main couple to make it a successful series. So overall, everything worked like a clock in this historical romance book. And I gave The Heiress Gets a Duke by Harper St. George an 8 out of 10. So those were the 4 books that I finished in the first half of February. Please comment down below, have you read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, and what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose heir. Heir means mirasçı in Turkish, and mirasçı is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.